Hi, my name is Keely Lyons, and this is my assignment on good pedagogy. So, following what was in the course outline for external students, this is how I'm starting my presentation. Given the contested nature of curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment, my position in the debate about good pedagogy is. So, I'm kind of on the fence about good pedagogy and where I sit and the aspects that lead to good pedagogy. So please forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, but this is the Polsel, Rice and Duffer reading about the impacts of high-stakes testing on curriculum and pedagogy. So the main points that really stuck out for me through this reading was that they found teachers will focus on the areas that are actually being tested and spend reduced time teaching other areas of the curriculum that are involved in standardized testing. I thought that was really interesting, but I think it makes a lot of sense. But then, what happens to the other areas that aren't getting as much attention? Also, NAPLAN testing and preparation reduces face time with students. Obviously, face-to-face time with students is really important, and it helps us build relationships, and it helps us to develop our pedagogy and curriculum and what we want to do for our class in terms of learning. So I thought that was obviously not very good. And standardized testing reduces and narrows one's ability to use different teaching strategies. I think in terms of pedagogy, our teaching strategies are what makes us different from others, and our teaching strategies suit our class and what they develop. So I think in terms of standardized testing, I can see how it is definitely a positive thing, but on the flip side of that, we're not developing our teaching strategies, we're not learning new skills, and we're teaching to what they're being tested on, which is obviously a good but bad thing. So, based again on the previous reading, I would like to adopt a structure in which standardized tests bring, but I also feel it's important to look at other areas of the curriculum and ensuring that they're being met, not just teaching to what the standardized testing is saying. I would also like to adopt a range of teaching strategies because, as previously stated, the article didn't mention that at all. It said that teaching strategies are being limited to what we're teaching. And I understand the place in which standardized testing has. However, when it comes to adopting a pedagogy in my first school, I would like to encourage my students to be curious and creative in their approach to anything they do, rather than teaching them to all be the same, because we're not all the same. Every child is going to be different, just like every adult is different. So I don't understand why standard testing is the same for every child, regardless of who they are, what their skills and strengths are, and what their weaknesses are. So my personal experience with standardized testing as both a educator and as a student, it stresses out both the teacher and the student. Everyone's really high, their emotions are running extra high, which is obviously not very good for our well-being. A lot of the time I feel like it makes students think negatively about themselves. I know personally it did for me. I always felt really bad about myself when I wasn't achieving, I'm not good enough, where am I going to get from here? But yeah. We also encourage students to be themselves. We provide them with the same tests and expect them all to have the same answers. But where does this leave our students if we're giving them the same tests and expect them all to answer the exact same, yet we encourage them to be themselves and be individual? So it's almost a bit like a cop-out, I suppose, in what we're doing. Okay, so what I learned about the issue discussed in the article, and also what I learned, what I've discovered from other readings. So as I've previously stated, I can see how and why standardized testing play a part in forming the curriculum pedagogies. However, these tests do not differentiate for our students at all, which is a major part of our teaching philosophy. Is it not? We encourage them to be different and individual, yet we're providing them all with the same tests with no ability to differentiate for them. So a reading that stuck with me throughout this course is the Haberman reading, about the importance of forming relationships and basing your pedagogy around your students in your class and the needs that they have. And the print reading really stuck with me. And I think it's really important when forming pedagogy is it's Print says it is best when they state that learning should be considered more of a running race rather than a race course, because all children are going to run at different paces, but they're all going to get there in the end. That's just something that I can't talk enough about. I mention it to all my colleagues and my family, but yeah, that's just really stuck with me. So how significant is the issue in current educational context? I believe it's a really significant issue. I think with the rates of teacher burnout and the fact that within the first 5 years graduates will drop out and completely find a new career, I think that's really scary. I think the rate of burnout for students, teachers and the school community and family units alone, and the way that standardised testing as a way of good pedagogy needs to change. And I think all the current information around something needs to be changed. And I don't think it's our teachers that are the problem. I think something else needs to happen. I think as an educator, it's going to affect me in a really negative way, especially in terms of teacher burnout. And I'm also really worried about what the view I'll have of myself and for my students aren't achieving at the rate that the government and standardised testing says that they should be achieving. And this is just my reference list. I really enjoyed all the readings. The print one really stood out to me throughout the whole curriculum, throughout the whole course, sorry. But yeah, I can't talk about it enough. Thank you. Have a good day.